Well, it goes back to the Indian problem. What do you think about our taking Indian land?
Right. Well, the Jews are the Indians of that land. They were there 1,500 years before Muhammad was born.
That's the way the Palestinians feel.
This is fact.
Who gives a crap about how they feel? Hi guys, this is Sahar TV, and in this video we'll see Bill Maher on his podcast with Oliver Stone, one of his guests, discussing about the Israel-Palestine issue. Let's take a look.
Israel's the only place where they had the deal on the table in 1947. Let's split up the country. The Jews were like, okay, we'll do that. We'll take half. Israel was very small the way it was originally drawn up. They said, no, we'll attack you and try to kill you and take it all. They failed. Then they attacked again in 56 and 67 and 73, and they are still attacking. They could have peace so easily. Just stop attacking. Do you really think after all this time, from the river to the sea, really? You're going to get rid of Israel? They're going to just disappear? What a deluded way to look at the world, even if you believed in it. Like, Israel is not going anywhere.
Nope.
Let's deal with that reality. There's no river to the sea. You're not going to get from the river to the sea. This is the fundamental problem. They don't ever make a deal.
What does that mean, river to the sea?
That's what they chant all the time. It's a way to say Israel is no more, from the river, the Jordan River to the Mediterranean Sea. In other words, we will have all that land.
This was actually a Zionist term against the British colonizers who were here from 1917 until 1947.
Which you never had because, well,
it goes back to the Indian problem. What do you think about our taking Indian land?
Right. Well, the Jews are the Indians of that land. They were there 1,500 years before Muhammad was born.
That's the way the Palestinians feel.
This is fact.
Who gives a crap about how they feel? There's facts and there's feelings. And facts don't care about your feelings. I feel like I'm the Prime Minister of Japan. I feel that way. That's how I feel. I feel like I'm richer than Elon Musk. I feel that way. You can't take that away from me. Who cares how they feel? Feelings don't matter. It's facts. It's history. It's the fact that they lost wars that they started. That's it. That's it. Israel has legitimacy, whether you like it or not.
Jerusalem was the capital, King David's capital, in 1000 BC. Muhammad is born in 570 AD.
Yes.
Okay. There was a continuous Jewish population, Jerusalem.
Yes.
Okay, it was their
But there
capital.
were Canaanites and Palestinians there.
Well, there were cavemen before that. Sure.
How do you know?
There were Canaanites and Palestinians? Who is this guy? There were no Palestinians back then. There were Philistines who came from Crete. But Philistines in Hebrew translates to invaders. What is this guy on?
Cavemen?
Well, there were, I'm sure, weren't there cavemen everywhere before they were humans?
I think you're a little discriminating there. What about the
cavemen?
What about the Crusaders in 1099?
1099.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Why not just charge $11?
What?
No. Yes, I know the taking of Jerusalem.
Yeah, it was slaughtered everything.
Right. That was the Second Crusade? First Crusade. Right. Pope Innocent, is that who proclaimed that?
I forgot the name, but
I think it was, because I was
Pope Innocent, that's a great name.
It's such a great name for that, yes.
But since then, every crusade failed, and this is another crusade. Now, I admit to you that this crusade it's a very complicated story, but the guilt that Germany faces is ironic that Germany ends up attacking the Hamas and saying, yeah, you're driving out, Netanyahu saying, look, 2.5 million people better get out of town now and fast. And it's never been done. The Germans wouldn't have done that in their worst day, in their worst nightmare. This is why Netanyahu is fucking too much. He's crazy that way. And I spent a lot of time with, Shimon Peres. So I know the other side of the Israeli peace party.
Right.
Although a lot of people distrusted Shimon too.
No, the Palestinians could have had their own country a number of times. Most recently, 2000, the Oslo Accords, 97% of the West Bank. Was the deal perfect? No, no deal ever is. But if they had taken that deal and then shown the Israelis that, okay, we can live side by side without importing fucking rockets from Iran and shooting them at you, and we can police our own militants, then maybe we can grow into more like normal neighbors. But Israel is going to have to keep a little eye on you because you do nothing but try to attack them and make them cease to exist. Is that not reasonable?
Yeah, in 2008, Hamas won the election in that West Bank.
Well, they won their first election, and then there was no more elections.
Yeah, because the Israelis didn't want it.
Hamas didn't win the elections in the West Bank. Hamas won the elections in 2006 in the Gaza Strip and then overthrew the Fatah. Literally overthrew them from roofs and dragged them down the streets with motorcycles and vehicles. It's all documented. And from that moment, they didn't have elections. Why? Because they're terrorist dictators.
The they pulled out.
Hamas was the legitimate political faction in that area. And the Israelis would not accept that. They made Hamas into a terrorist organization.
Well, that's the thing.
Every single point you mention is a counterpoint.
But when people say, like, well,
how is this a counterpoint?
It's just the Islamic world. You're a horrible Islamophobe, Bill, and you're. No, I'm just talking about what the reality is. The reality is that very often when you give people, Muslim populations in lots of different countries, this has happened, the choice. They will elect, in Egypt, it was the Muslim Brotherhood. In Gaza, it was...
And they were thrown out by a dictator.
By a dictator, right. Gaza, it was, Hamas. Algeria, it happened. I remember there was, have the people have a say. And then the army has to go, you know what, the people kind of fucked up. And we don't want this very Islamic, faith-based government, and they take over, and
that's the problem. Isn't it? That's the problem with the two-state solution. Well, because the truth is that it will never work. That two-state solution is bullshit.
But I'm also saying governments are a reflection of the people here as well as there.
The U.S. government, too, has been backing Israel too much and giving it way too much credibility and saying we're supporting you no matter what. And that's seen. We're making so many enemies throughout the world. Biden is flying in there like some Superman, and he's going to find out the truth.
So you'll never vote for Biden again?
Never.
Never?
Never, never, never.
No matter who runs again.
Well, he'll be dead by the time I vote again.
Well, but we wish him well, Oliver. We wish him well. So even Trump, you'd vote?
I think Biden has got some psychopathic problem with Russia.
On the last point, I do agree with Oliver Stone. I don't think America should be supporting Israel as much as they do. I think Israel should be self-sustained. Israel should be manufacturing their own weapons, their own missiles, their own defense systems. A lot of the technology is already developed by Israeli companies. So why not make it self-sustained? We don't like to be held by the balls. If there's an existential threat to Israel, we need to be able to protect ourselves without having sanctions from Germany, without having sanctions from the United States, without having sanctions from Australia. Israel needs to have the capabilities of self-sustaining the existence of the country. Very simple. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you'd like to support me financially, you can do that using Buy Me Coffee or Patreon down in the link in the description. Please don't forget to join our Discord in the link below, and now you can become a YouTube member and enjoy specific YouTube perks. Thank you for being here. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.